1998 gave us massive blockbusters like Armageddon, Saving Private Ryan, and There's Something About Mary. But behind the success stories were some of the decade's most infamous box office disasters. From overstuffed passion projects to sequels nobody asked for. These are the movies that went big and lost even bigger. Let's take a dive into the biggest bombs of 1998. Number 10, Beloved.
Don't tell me what to do. But I'm on your side. See the one I need.
Oprah Winfrey put her heart, soul, and a lot of studio money into adapting Toni Morrison's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Beloved. Directed by Jonathan Demme and starring Oprah alongside Danny Glover, it was supposed to be an awards season juggernaut. Instead, the film's $80 million budget sank under the weight of a meager $22 million box office return. And critics were split. Some praised its ambition while others found it sluggish and inaccessible. To make matters worse, it opened the same weekend as The Bride of Chucky, which hilariously outgrossed it.
Is the little baby ticklish?
Oprah later claimed that Beloved's failure at the box office was the worst moment in her career and resulted in her suffering a major depression. Despite its cultural importance, Beloved stands as one of the most painful financial flops of the 90s. Number 9, Holy Man.
I think this would be fantastic for a surprise birthday party. Surprise parties, you could say, surprise!
By 1998, Eddie Murphy was still a huge name, after hits like The Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. But then came Holy Man, a spiritual satire where Murphy plays a mysterious guru who becomes the unlikely star of a failing home shopping network.
And I know just what they want.
Now would be a good time to talk about the safety features.
No, this is good. McBainbridge will love this.
It sounds quirky, but audiences weren't buying what he was selling. With a $60 million budget and a humiliating $12 million return, it became one of Murphy's worst box office outings ever. Critics called it dull and baffling, with Roger Ebert saying that Murphy's talent was wasted on a movie that wasn't funny, wasn't dramatic, and wasn't much of anything. Today, it's mostly remembered as a cautionary tale. Even comedy legends can't sell everything.
I'm 67 years old. I've made love twice today. Why? Because I'm wearing new Clan by Vontae.
Number 8, Soldier. From the director of Mortal Kombat and the writer of Blade Runner, Soldier looked like a sci-fi slam dunk. Kurt Russell played a genetically engineered super soldier, left for dead and forced to defend a colony on a distant planet. The catch? Russell had only about 100 words of dialogue in the entire film. It's also been reported that Russell broke his ankle and part of his foot early in production, which forced him to shoot around his healing. First with scenes of him laying down, then sitting, and eventually standing, walking, and running. The studio still spent around $60 million on big sets, effects, and action scenes, but audiences didn't care. Soldier scraped together just $14.6 million worldwide, making it one of the decade's biggest sci-fi duds. Over time, it's gained a weird cult following for Russell's committed performance. But in 1998, it was less Blade Runner and more Budget Runner. Number 7, Babe, Pig in the City.
Anybody else?
You must have a very thin grasp on reality. Unless, of course, you're suicidal.
The original Babe was a critical and box office smash in 1995, even nabbing an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. So naturally, Universal thought a sequel was a safe bet. But instead of another warm-hearted farmyard adventure, Babe, Pig in the City went dark. This time, Babe ends up lost in a grim urban landscape, filled with danger, poverty, and some shockingly intense scenes for a kids' movie. Parents were horrified, critics were split, and children were just plain traumatized. With a $90 million budget and only $69 million worldwide gross, it became one of the most infamous family film flops of the decade. It didn't help that the film was released against A Bug's Life and the Rugrats movie. Today it has defenders who love its surreal style, but back in 1998 it was the movie that proved even a talking pig can't always bring home the bacon.
Pig! You get here now!
Number 6, The Avengers.
How can I show my appreciation?
Before Marvel took over Hollywood, there was the Avengers. And no, not those Avengers. This 1998 adaptation of the classic British spy TV series starred Ralph Fiennes as John Steed, Uma Thurman as Emma Peel, and Sean Connery as a villain who wants to control the world's weather.
You will buy your weather from me.
Sounds fun, right? Wrong. The movie was hacked down to under 90 minutes after poor test screenings, leaving it incoherent and often unintentionally hilarious. Critics tore it apart, audiences avoided it, and with a $60 million budget versus a measly $48 million worldwide gross, it was a full-on thunderstorm of failure. To this day, it's remembered less as a spy caper and more as a lesson in how not to adapt a beloved TV show. Number 5, Quest for Camelot.
Stand still and try on your new dress.
Mother, I don't want a new dress. I want to save Camelot. If you just let me, I know I could find Excalibur all on my own.
Warner Brothers wanted their own Disney-style animated hit in the late 90s, and Quest for Camelot was supposed to be it. On paper, it had all the ingredients: a magical King Arthur setting, songs, and even voices from Gary Oldman and Pierce Brosnan. But instead of rivaling The Lion King, it ended up more like a direct-to-VHS lion cub adventure. The animation was cheap-looking, the story was bland, and critics compared it unfavorably to Disney's worst efforts. With a $40 million budget and only $22 million worldwide, it flopped hard. To top it off, they also lost a ton of money on marketing. Even Wendy's had toys based on the characters included in their kids' meals, while Kodak had print advertisements on over 200 million photo processing envelopes. Warner Brothers also partnered with Scholastic to produce children's books based on the film. Quest for Camelot is now mostly remembered as the film that showed just how tough it was to go toe-to-toe with Disney in the 90s. Number 4, Mercury Rising.
You are a stranger.
Excuse me. This is the Puzzle Center. Where did you get this number?
Puzzle 99.
By the late 90s, Bruce Willis was one of Hollywood's biggest action stars, but Mercury Rising showed even he couldn't save every project.
You had it, but the magic's gone.
The movie cast him as an FBI agent protecting a young autistic boy who cracked a top-secret government code, based on the book Simple Simon. On paper, it was a mix of action and heartfelt drama, but in practice, critics thought it was clumsy, manipulative, and painfully predictable. With a $60 million budget and just $32 million at the U.S. box office, it fizzled fast. Overseas earnings helped soften the blow a little, but overall it was considered a major disappointment. Today it's mostly remembered as one of those late 90s thrillers that tried to be smart, but ended up as a punchline. Number 3, Sphere.
You went in the sphere, Harry. So did Beth.
So did I think.
And if so, what?
Everything that we feel, everything that we think just happens. That's what happened to the astronauts.
Michael Crichton adaptations were hot in the 90s thanks to Jurassic Park, so Warner Brothers thought Sphere would be their next big sci-fi hit. The cast was stacked: Dustin Hoffman, Sharon Stone, Samuel L. Jackson, and the premise had promise. A team of scientists investigates a mysterious alien spacecraft at the bottom of the ocean.
You have to go to the bathroom. Just go down your leg, kid.
Really? You can urinate in these?
But instead of thrilling, it dragged. Critics panned the confusing plot and lack of suspense, while audiences just stayed away. With an $80 million budget and only $73 million worldwide, it sank at the box office. What was supposed to be a tense, intelligent sci-fi adventure ended up a soggy mess that never lived up to its potential.
Boy, holding my hand. You were holding my hand.
Number 2, Deep Rising. If you ever wanted to see a luxury cruise ship attacked by a giant sea monster, Deep Rising had you covered. Written by Stephen Sommers, who was inspired to write the script after reading a National Geographic article about jellyfish. This 1998 horror-action hybrid mixed gory creature effects with tongue-in-cheek humor. A band of hijackers invade a luxurious cruise ship, and they're shocked to discover the passengers have mysteriously vanished. A deadly force from the unexplored depths of the ocean begins to snatch the horrified intruders one by one. Unfortunately, audiences didn't find it very funny or scary. With a $45 million budget and just $11 million worldwide, it barely made a ripple before sinking completely. Over the years, it's gained a cult following among monster movie fans, who appreciate its campy charm. But back in 1998, it was considered dead in the water. Number 1, Mighty Joe Young. Disney hoped to strike gold with a big-budget remake of the 1949 classic Mighty Joe Young, the story of a gentle giant gorilla befriended by Charlize Theron and aided by Bill Paxton was supposed to be a family-friendly holiday blockbuster. The special effects were impressive for the time, with Joe brought to life through animatronics and CGI. In most of the film, Joe was portrayed by creature suit performer John Alexander, who wore a radio-controlled animatronic gorilla mask and full bodysuit created by special makeup effects artist Rick Baker and his crew at Cinovation Studios. But audiences weren't wowed. Critics found it charming but forgettable, and it couldn't compete with the other holiday releases of 1998. With a $90 million budget and only $50 million worldwide, it was a colossal flop. Disney had hoped for another Babe or E.T., but instead Mighty Joe Young lumbered into box office obscurity. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos just like this.